along with my ex-girlfriend, Mercy Chepkorir. They were there for me, taking care of me. So I studied, primary I studied in a school called Creative Based Care in Udiru. In high school I went to Upper Hill School, which was really fun because we were just in the middle of town. It was good even when you were being chased for school fees. It was easy just going to my mom's office, passing by there. Because usually you'll finish the term without any money, so I had to go for fare from her. So, from Upper Hill I went to Moi University Eldoret, main campus, where I studied computer science. I was studying very well till 2017, when my world was turned around. I noticed one of my classmates. Actually, that classmate noticed me. Her name was Mercy Chepkorir. She noticed me and we started out as movie buddies because she loved animations just like me. We used to share that interest. So we'll stay on the Wi-Fi for like the whole night downloading a movie. We'll go with my laptop to her room, we watch. That's how our friendship started. And from there we started studying together because she was a genius. So she used to help me study. And it was actually very good because through her I scored my highest scores in campus after I helped with studying. That was in third year. So when the love grew, we started living together in her room. It was a two ladies' room, but even the roommate noticed how strong that love was. She decided she could not break it up by chasing me out. So we just lived together. So we stayed together for a whole year. For the whole third year, we were together in our room. Then when we got to fourth year, from there is guess where the illness started occurring. Because you know, with depression, the person facing depression never actually notices it. It's the people around them who notice. So it was my girlfriend who noticed it, because I started acting differently from what she told me. So when we got to fourth year, she switched rooms to a one-person room. And those were fourth year rooms. And they were usually kept under tight security because they were fourth year rooms. So one night when we were in those rooms, as I was leaving the loo going back to her room, I encountered a janitor along the way. The janitor was very angry and came to me asking me, "Young man, what are you doing in a girl's hostel at night? Don't you know it's against the school rules?" At that point, my mind was completely off. It's like my body was in flight mode. No signals were coming in or out. I answered the guy very rudely. I asked him, "Why are you asking me what I'm doing here? Don't you know me and my girlfriend love each other? We've been living together for more than a year. I have a right to be here. Do you want to break us up?" The guy got so angry, grabbed my arm with the intention of taking me to the administration. But thankfully, my girlfriend had the altercation and came and she talked to the guy, telling him to let us go back to sleep because I'm not well in the mind. Because she had already noticed something was wrong. She told the guy to let us go back to sleep and that in the morning she'll put me in a matatu to come to Nairobi to go to hospital. And she did just that in the morning. My school, you have to come from the school to town. It's like a whole hour's drive by matatu. You go to town, then she put me in a matatu. She sat me next to the driver, gave the driver instructions to drop me off at Total Petrol Station in 87, because that's where I live. So I came back home. When I was dropped from the matatu, my mom was there waiting. So she just grabbed my hand, put me in another matatu, and took me to Avenue Hospital. When I went there, I was diagnosed with depression. And this was back in 2017 when the awareness of mental illness had not yet started. So my mom had depression too. We went back home. So we went back home and that's when the drama started again. Because from what I was told, apparently when I was home, as I was doing my rounds around, I like walking. I like taking walks because I like exploring nature. So as I was doing my rounds around home, apparently I was told that I went to a neighbor's shop, stole a whole packet of sweets and went home with it and ate them all. Imagine a full packet of sweets. So, because my mom came home in the evening from work, she found me asleep on the sofa with red lips and sweet wrappers all over the room. When she saw that scene, she just confirmed with her mind, kumbe yu jana mechizi ya ukweli sikuwa nadanganywa. Because as a parent, you never accept the worst fate for your child. Took me back to hospital immediately. When I got back to hospital, I was put under observation and diagnosed with a new illness called acute organic brain syndrome. So acute organic brain syndrome from what I was told by my psychiatrist, it is an illness that develops from depression that has not been looked into. It arises when depression becomes so severe. Yes. And it is an illness that is generated by the mind. Because from what I was told, the illness comes about when the mind, it's the mind's way of protecting itself from further damage. So it creates that illness. So my depression it was a combination of different factors. Because like when I got to campus in 2014, I made friends. Then, I don't know why, in my mind, I used to hear Ebru on the TV. And in my mind, I used to put that anything that is on TV is a place for rich people. That was what was in my mind. So I used to hear Ebru every time on the TV. So I assumed rich people live there. So when I went to campus, a lot of the friends I made came from Buru. So I assumed they were rich. And in order to fit with them, I had to lie. Of course, I had to lie. And me with my creativity, I lied to them that we live in Western Towers, that we have a penthouse at the top. I know it's hilarious. So that lie, I used to keep that lie for the whole semester. But when I go home, so I have to come back to reality. When I go back to the reality, I'll be disappointed. And my mind got disappointed too much, till eventually it flipped. And that illness did wonders to my mind. Because the first effect it had is it blocked my mind and prevented it from making new memories. And it took the doctors a week to realize what was happening. So it's like I spent a whole week without new memories. When they realized what had happened, what was happening, I was told that they gave me an injection that rebooted my mind. And when my mind was rebooted, it's like it became a clean slate. All the information I had gathered for the 23 years of my life before was put on hold. It was put aside. So I was clean, fresh product. Because I lost all my motor skills. I lost my speech skills. I could not use my legs. I could not use my arms. I could not even talk. That was the state I was in hospital. Till I stayed like that. I started being taken through physiotherapy to be taught how to use my legs. I went on like that till there's this video I watched of my girlfriend helping me walk in a hospital ward. That was really touching. She was helping me walk through a hospital ward. She was holding me the way you hold on to a drunk person, helping them walk. She was helping me walk through a hospital ward till we reached close to a door. Then she seemed to say something to me, but we were too far from the camera to hear. She said something to me, then started turning back and coming back. We walked slowly till we got next to a wheelchair, and she helped me sit on the wheelchair. She took me slowly. The moment she let go of me, I just landed on the seat to show how much I needed her help. Because the moment she let go of me, I just landed on the seat. I even remember the day I watched that video, the first thought that came to my mind is, I am definitely going to marry this girl. Because it was so emotional. So I stayed in hospital for 3 weeks. In the third week, the funds from my insurance ended. They ran out. After my mom had spent an entire 2 million on me in hospital. Imagine. Out of her own pocket. And through insurance. Thankfully, the insurance was paying at that time. So, I had to be discharged from hospital after the funds ran out. So I was discharged in that state of not being able to walk or use my arms. I was taken home, laid on the sofa set where I could be seen easily. And imagine it is on that sofa set that I lay for 3 months. 3 months of being raised up, being spoon-fed, put back down. When my brother says it's time for me to go to the bathroom, he will take me to the bathroom and even wipe me and put me back on the chair. That was the state I lived in the house. And something I've forgotten to mention, before depression, I was an introvert. I was a severe introvert. I never knew how to talk to people. So, like even in my class in campus, I spoke only to a few people in my class because I didn't know how to relate with people. So, See, I'm in the seat. I'm in the sofa. Staying there being spoon-fed. Till one Saturday morning, at one point, I started showing signs of recovery. Because my hands and feet started twitching, just making small jerks. My mom was observant. She came and raised me up to stand. I got hold of the standing up. The moment I got hold of the standing up, I was given my own version of a TBT that I even called TBL, Throwback Life. Because it was a throwback of my life. Because I started being taught how to walk like a child. Started being taught how to talk like a child. Started being taught how to use my hands like a child. Isn't that throwback life? So I'm there being taught things. Till I got to a point where I got hold of the walking, but I could not walk stably. Because my mind had not gotten hold of coordination yet. I went on like that till one Saturday morning. On this Saturday, I got up in the morning, turned on my mobile, because I had already gotten hold of using my hands. I turned on my mobile data. I got just one message in WhatsApp. I noticed it was a video sent by my classmates. I just let the video download fully. When the video finished downloading, I played it. And the stockload of emotions that came from that video was amazing. Because what I saw in that video was my classmates praying for me. Imagine that. These people were never talked to. They were there praying for me. Because all of them were there in the classroom praying. They were there. Like there was this guy called Joseph who seemed to be the one leading that service. He was just there declaring things. Lord Jesus, we pray that you heal our brother Ian. Bring him back to us better than ever. Remove this evil illness from him. And it was like everything was declaring. It's like it was pumping life into me. We declare something, I just feel like, God, it was touching. Then the scene changed from the classroom where they were in to an area near the field where we usually have our graduations. They were there standing in two rows holding up papers with letters written on them. And those letters were arranged to read out, "We love you, Ian." Imagine. I was so shocked by that, just I even dropped the phone. Thank God I was on the bed, so it just dropped on the mattress. But you can understand my shock. Because these are people I never talked to. And here they are telling me they love me. But then I realized, hey, I have to finish this movie. So I picked up the phone again. I found them in class still praying. Then I remember when the video ended, I just breathed in heavily, breathed out, and jumped out of excitement. And when I landed, I was so shocked that the gentleman just kept on jumping, "Nimepona, nimepona, nimepona." And that's how we got healed. Instantaneous healing by the great God in heaven who we serve. That is the mighty God we serve. Miracles still happen. Miracles did not end with Jesus. Miracles happen each and every day. I recovered them through finding triggers. My psychiatrist told me, I used to see a psychiatrist after the prayers, and after I started using my skill, regained my motor skills, I used to go see a psychiatrist in Ruaraka. Her name was Susan Magada. She's actually the one who diagnosed me with the illness. So she was also there with me from the beginning. I used to go see her, and she used to give me these tests to gauge my mind. Because I remember the first test she gave me was the past 1 year in 500 words. I was just supposed to write what I can remember so that she could get the level of memory I have. That's what she used to do. She used to give me various random topics. Like I remember she gave me something about the political climate in Kenya. So I could put up what I remember. And she's the one who helped me. She helped me enough till one day she saw I was good enough, fit enough to go back to school. And I went back to school. I went back to school around September 2018. And But hey, going back to school was tough. It was really tough on me because hey, the fourth year was just so complicated. And I'm actually guessing, I always guess that I might have been ready to go to school, but I was not ready for school. You understand me? I was ready to go back to school because I just wanted to leave the house. Because staying in one place for nearly a year, and me with my love for exploring, I needed to get out. Because there was even a time in the initial days of when I was recovering from home, after I started recovering, I was being put under house arrest, which was really torturous for me. It was torture for me. Because me, I don't like being cooked up in one place. I'm a free bird. I like exploring. I don't like being in one place for long. So I went back to school. By God's grace, I finished. And I thank Him for that. Because now I'm awaiting graduation. And it's all by His mercies and love. So for my friends, there were actually some friends who came and visited me in hospital when I was sick. Though I don't remember them being in hospital. But there's this thing, my mom does this thing where during tragic events, she likes recording those tragic events. So that once you overcome them, you can see how far God has taken you from. And for me, the recordings and pictures that were taken were exceptionally helpful to me because I had lost some memories. So looking at those pictures and videos of my classmates and other people, it will trigger the memories in my mind. And it helped me remember them. Because the ones who I saw who came to visit me, I even invited them home for a Thanksgiving party. I invited them home and made them everything I could have made them. I baked them a cake. I made them pilau. I made them everything that I could. Because it was seeing them coming to visit me gave me hope for healing. That's why I like watching old movies, listening to old songs, because it triggers memories in my mind. And I like that. I'm always joyful whenever I get a new memory that was lost. Because it shows how God is working in me. Every day He's working in me. Even me being here is God working through me. For me to declare to the world that God heals anything.